Good afternoon. It's my pleasure today to be being a part of the campaign Let's Budge Negativity and Embrace Optimism, and choosing to be optimist campaign being hosted by Logistics Insider. I think it's a great initiative during these difficult times where people are not too sure which path to choose in life. And when they approached me, and I thought it's a very good idea that I speak on this important subject for a reason, is that I've been interacting with a lot of people in the industry, of the industry, from the airlines, from the shipping lines, from multiple agencies. And when you look at the news channels today, they are being flooding negativity to the core, showing things which frighten people and the rest of them. So what I'm going to do is, some of you definitely know me in the industry now that I've spent over a few decades into the industry. But my name is Satish Lakkaraju, and I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for Agility. I've been with this organization for the last 5 years, and I'm in the sixth year now. But prior to that, I worked with many of the organizations in my life, having started my life with a company called AFL, which is a pioneer in the freight forwarding industry. And everyone goes through difficult things in life. No one comes to the ranks without going through a patch in his life where he would have seen difficulty. And I'm no exception to this myself. I have seen difficulties when my dad, who was working for Bharat Heavily Electricals as in a very senior position, and one fine day in the morning, he had to retire 10 years earlier than his scheduled date of retirement because there was a error in the records in respect to his date of birth. We went to the court, but we lost the case because we should have seen it lost up. And so, literally, we had to move out of our comfort zone and come to a situation where we had nothing in our hand really. And that was the time I learned that difficulties do come, and it's time that we start from ground zero, from scratch, and bounce back. And so I thought that was an incident which has been running through my mind in the last couple of days, saying is that sometimes being very simple and humble also helps, because if you're not in a comfort zone all the time, then you know how to bounce back faster. So I wanted to start with this as an example or a story that would resonate with me. We know that when the first wave came, we had better preparedness, and especially with my organization, we were really well prepared, and people took the matter seriously, and people ensured that every step was taken to ensure that the COVID does not spread. And as things started to ease, and when started things started to open, we entered the second wave. But I don't think we were prepared for the second wave, and as a result, things went drastically wrong. I don't blame anyone, but I think it's our own doings that has resulted in not people not wearing masks, and not washing their hands, and the rest of them. So I've been traveling myself across the country. Starting from January, I've visited cities like Baroda. I went to Bangalore. I went to Hyderabad, Vishakhapatnam, and many other cities. But one thing I was doing always was to ensure that I was double masked on the flights. I was using the sanitizers and the rest of them. So one of the message that I would want to leave with all of you all on this podcast is that it's very important that the statutory things that have been mandated by WHO, as well as what we are seeing is helping us. Please do continue surely doing that. But what has come out on a very, very positive note is that the way the people are using technology, and today you can see that I would have been traveling into a Logistics Insiders organized event in some five-star hotel and being speaking to you, which would have resulted in I traveling in a car, asking my driver to come out, and then you could burn more fuel, and then you don't even look at anything else. But even sustainability would have mattered. So the positive side out of this is that the technology usage has gone to a very large extent, and this is not only saving a lot of time, energy, and also allowing us to reach out to larger audience by the use of technology. So I think this has helped a lot of people even on the timely medical assistance, because it's telling you where you have beds, where there's oxygen available, where are the oxygen concentrators coming up, who in which part of the world is doing it, what are the requirements. So use of technology in not only looking at mapping of the inventory, the beds, the medicines, everything is being mapped brilliantly. So I want to share a small story which we've been hearing for quite some time. Is that during the last year's pandemic also, we've seen a 70-year-old lady called Kamlama from Mysore, who donated 500 rupees from her monthly pension of 600 rupees to the Chief Minister COVID Relief Fund. I think it's truly inspirational that someone who earns 600 rupees wishes to donate 500 rupees. Is a classic case of the people's commitment towards helping others is a very, very positive thing. We've heard to stories like people, father who's 80 years old decides to walk out of the hospital to give the bed to his younger son or his child, and later he passes away. But the love of the parents and the rest of them are coming out. And incidentally, this week we celebrated the Mother's Day also, and you can see how many of the mothers are holding babies to their heart and trying to comfort them as well, while themselves are struggling to get oxygen into themselves. The other important thing that's come out is that the world understands that this is a time of really supporting India, because India has stood by most of the countries in the starting phase when we were sending vaccine out to each of the countries, because we were thinking things would be much easier. But today that has helped, because you can see the type of aircraft that are landing at some of the airports like Delhi, where you can see all type of relief material, be it your tanks for oxygen, or you look at the oxygen cylinders, you look at the oxygen concentrators, you look at any product that we all want today have been coming down. And I don't think anything better can be said to anyone in the given parameters clearly. And I've been personally trying to do whatever it is possible. I've been fortunate that so far I've managed to follow all the protocols and ensure that I'm a little away from COVID for thing, and I managed to take my vaccination as well. So I'm reaching out to anyone in the industry and saying that, look, how do you want to help? Let us know, and we will facilitate that for you. And I'll speak about it a little later. But what I wanted to also mention and tell is that time is required for anything to pass through. Even for a mother to deliver a baby, it takes 9 months, and there is a time frame in which it comes. When the pandemic comes, this is not like going to a movie and saying that in 3 hours the movie will start and the 3 hours it will end, because there's an editing that can be done to complete the movie in 3 hours. When such things come, one, why it's important to be positive is that when you're positive and your frame of mind is clearly cool, you can take sensible and rightful decisions. And as a result, maintaining positivity brings in more effectiveness in terms of what you do. So many of the families in the logistics industry have really gone through more difficult times than anyone else. The reason I'm mentioning this is that because of the logistics industries running without stopping even a single day, the essential commodities have been reaching homes and people have been able to eat their food, but at the cost of the people on the airports, on the truckers, and the rest of them missing their meals or not taking the latis on their bodies, but still going ahead and reaching airports to make the cargo go. So my hats off to all those warriors who have really been positive throughout in doing it. And a special mention of positivity that comes out during this time is that our airline partners, which is Air India, our homegrown airlines, Indigo, have themselves volunteered in many relief operations. But I think our neighboring countries, which is Qatar Airlines and Emirates, have shown equal amount of commitment during this time to support and open the air bridges between the country to ensure the smooth flow of lot of it, and the relief cargo got priority over it was another important aspect that I thought it was important. I don't want to miss out anyone, but the government agencies, the stakeholders, the airports, and especially the customs have been coming out with time and again very important circulars, notifications, help desks to ensure that the prioritization of these commodities reach to them. And touchwood, I have seen that the clearance have been happening quite smoothly, and it goes out to say that we are working as an team. So these are some of the points that I personally wanted to touch upon clearly. uh, and the last bit that I want to be speaking about before giving you all 10 tips on what we should be doing during COVID was that it's not a time here to publicize who's doing what, but I thought we as an organization should only look at one important aspect, and that one important aspect is work silently. Make sure that whatever help we can reach out to whomever it is in whatever way, financially, physically, mentally, which means mentoring people during this time, reaching out to families, asking people of what help, if someone needs food, someone needs water, if you can really help them out. That's what me and my team have been doing. Our other countries also have been reaching out. We have been helping organizations like Chelabi and many other NGOs. We have received multiple shipments of oxygen concentrators, which we've been able to bring into this country, and we will continue to be doing this even in the coming days. And I can personally be reached out for any assistance, whatever it is. So, what do we do to remain positive and optimistic during this time? I think it's a great opportunity, and 10 creative ways to keep your positive attitude. The first is start a gratitude journal, because in today's life what happens is that we have a lot of things for which we are not thankful to a lot of people in life. So first, let's take this opportunity to thank God for the wonderful comfort in which we are in air conditioned rooms or wherever we are, and we are safe today. And take a piece of paper or a book and write about the best things that have been happening every day to you. Even if you get a cup of tea on time, I think we need to be very grateful in what we are taking. Second thing that we need to do is treat ourselves to very carefully. Today our body is so important, and the way we treat our body, what we eat, and how we treat our body is what will reflect out on when we speak or when we do anything ruling. Garbage in is garbage out. So the second thing that you need to do is to take care of yourself and your body really. The third thing that I want everyone to take away from this session is that start your morning every morning with a very strong motive that today I'm going to do something which will make a difference to me, and I want to start it on a positive note and learn to be happy in the morning, surely. The fourth thing that I want to leave with all of you is that avoid spreading gossip. Because if you don't know the news authenticity, and if it's coming up on your WhatsApp, please question the authenticity of that message, because the more negativity that we spend, the more the problems we are going to create. The fifth thing that I want to say is that cracking jokes. If you are happy and you are able to make a few more people happy and spread more positivity, there's nothing better than that. And sharing a nice joke is always a good thing, because it's not going to create harm, but it's only going to create more positivity. Then take some real breaks. The sixth thing that I want to tell you all is that take a break. After you work for long hours on your laptops and computers, you're at home. So take 1 hour for yourself. Either read a nice book which gives you positivity, or listen to a nice video or something on a podcast where there's more positivity that's coming in. Relax your mind, cut off from everyone, and take a nice breathe, and then you see what difference it makes to you to regenerate you clearly. Uh, In life, it's very important to have something to look forward after work. So the number seven that I want to tell you is that 6 o'clock in the evening, you finish your work, you shut down your laptop or rest of them, but make sure that you look forward to something, that is spending an evening with the family, watching a nice movie. Could be something which you can look forward. You can spend time that gives a great feeling to the family as well. Practice as much as meditation, so that's the eighth thing. And meditation gives you so much of calmness within you, gives you so much of concentration, increases your efficiency. And doing it early morning, just before the sunrise, and then doing a surya namaskar could make a big difference in your life. The ninth thing that I would probably want to talk about is focus on long term instead of short term. Because in short term, we are already stuck. And if someone asks me today, when will the pandemic end, I don't think you have an answer. But over a 10 years horizon or a 5 years horizon, if you still want to complete some bit of work, you can surely put a long term perspective to things, and then work in this time on what you can do clearly. The last and the tenth thing is listen to music that matches your mood, because music will bring a much more satisfaction, gets your mood right. So these are the 10 things that I thought should really be practiced, and which I've been almost doing it for quite some time now. And so that's something which I wanted to share with you. So, given that I have a time constraint, and I wanted to personally thank my colleagues who have been supporting me during this time. And Logistics Insider needs to be given a special mention, because they've really been working with me on several initiatives, and we've done a few more things. So I thank them once again for allowing me speak on this subject of positive campaign and optimism. So thank you, Logistics Insider.